What is little known in America are the true causes of the Ethiopian famine in the mid-80s. The two causes were massive drought and warfare. The communists were taking over Ethiopia. Millions died then. We are faced with a repeat of these events, crop destruction leading to a food shortage, and the militaristic actions of a world-renowned leader. The leader is the Nobel Peace Prize winner, who has been conspired to initiate violence upon his people. Shall our children starve once more? Will America again extend their heart and their minds to this troubled nation? Help us bring to the attention of all America this unfolding tragedy. We are the world. We are the children. We can make the world a better place. This is a beautiful piece of music. Legends rush to save people's life with a sense of urgency. Came up with this now a celebrity fundraising piece of music that changed generations. Those generous, kind-hearted America who respond, save those people, the mostly affected by this famine, the Tigrian people, through the US for Africa. Those people who survived, those people who made it through that, they grown up now. They are now in a war. In a war, Donald Trump betrayed our country and sailed to the two Middle East countries in a very classified way to make our country to take over under colony, destroying Christianity. The same American person whom Americans have saved, rushed to save life, now is blocking to become anti-peace, letting for our people to die. We ask the nation of America again to be a giver of a life for other people, to stop a war and to save people's life. In this historically unprecedented situation we are in, we are also learning two different scenarios. A nation that helps and save millions, but a 1%, because of 1%, the same people have been preserved are in danger now, facing drought, facing crops because of locusts, a recent one, and facing a war and roads being blocked for people to get food, let alone medication or anything for COVID. A nation built, an individual destroyed. Those people, those artists exhibit what our world should be, how we should be for one another. But an individual focusing for their own interests are harming our planet, are harming our people. Who are you today? Are you the individual who will hurt our people, or the nation who will rush to save people? The American people respect human rights. An individual may not. So are you a person who makes other people's day bright? There's a choice to make. But every individual has that potential in their choice to make a difference. Are you going to be the one who makes history? Like the legends, Michael Jackson, Lionel Richie, Kenny Rogers, Tina Turner, and many more. Stevie Wonder, and all the people who has a beautiful mind and a beautiful heart, who rush with a sleepless night. They give their talent, they give their time, they give their fame, their name, to come up with this powerful piece of music to save people's life because they care. Unlike Donald Trump, who is destroying history. Unlike Mike Pompeo, Jared Kushner, or Donald Trump, who is tearing down this nation. What American nation rushed to save? There's a choice always in life, a choice to make. What is your choice today? The same people in Tigray who has been affected by the massive drought in the 80s are now facing the same situation. You have the power to stop this war. You have the power to stop another child from being starved. The choice is in your heart because you have that power of choice. To those who don't understand the Tigrian people, let me give you a little bit as a storyteller, or maybe explain, because there are a lot of narratives and bias, a distorted information, what these people, what this nation is. The people of Tigray are a resilient people. Resilience after people who care, those people who play in the US Africa for this music, We Are the World. Their life has been preserved. Many children, now they are in their 30s, late 30s, early 40s. Now they are in a war. But they are resilient, they are a content people who has a heart of gratitude for what other people have done, for what God has done. God used other people to preserve their life. And they are resilient people, and who picks their battle carefully, because we know not all battles are worth to fight for to begin with. More importantly, nobody knows about in any situation than those who traverse and experienced it personally. We know the consequence of being treated unfairly, stigmatized as if we are a trait, scolded, mistreated at the workplace, fired, or in school, treated differently. We know the tortures, the pain, and the psychological trauma of imprisonment. We know the potential of a famine, drought, and the massive, horrific damage it can cause. We know the effects of a war that kills and shortens many young lives. That's why we don't want to engage in those things that will put us back on the same track. When situations presented to us for the last 3 years, we avoided them by all means. We avoid every venue that will take us back to square one. To repeat the same pattern and revisit those paths and venues we have overcome them. All the intensity, the toxic verbal attacks, hatred-filled messages, including by the leader, by the Nobel Peace Prize winner, who said Tigrian people as cancer, and said they are a day hyena. A lot of words, toxic words, hatred. We tolerate them. So they were so intense and toxic. The verbal attacks has also a damage. Other than the physical attacks. People emotionally, mentally, psychologically to be threatened and abused. Excessive hatred that we have entertained nationwide for the last 3 years. We deliberately avoid them. Or those nationwide hatred towards the Tigrian people, we entertain them. We listen to them. We don't engage to backfire. Intentionally ignore them. It's not because we don't have feelings and it doesn't hurt. It hurts. It's painful. But by choice, we detach from the toxicity before we engage in it. Because, number one, as a resilient person, a people, we protect ourselves. Who wants his family to be locked down in a prison and be tortured? And we have been there. We have so many of our families, relatives, family, friends, thrown to Ma'akalawi prison facility, the political prisoners in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, tortured several times. Never came out from the prison cell. God knows how the communists finished their lives. Just because they were Tigrayans. Just because TPLF was winning and controlling many places in the fight against the communists. We have been there. The oppression, the imprisonment, the torture, assassinations, being bullied and insulted. A mother, parents lost their children in the war. Civilians being targeted and bombed and disabled. We have been there. Our experience taught us the ugliness of oppression, imprisonment, war, and the consequences that follows. We don't want to go there because nobody understands the damage those who truly live through that experience. That's why when it comes to the danger that has been hovering on the Constitution, and when it comes to a conflict that might possibly into a war, the TPLF active and former leaders step in to address the issue, to say, this is the danger zone. Let us not go there. They were warning the people boldly, articulate, and communicated, we don't want war. War is a killer. Because they know from experience, war is that last resort. This is one aspect. Second, the late Prime Minister, a true leader of Africa, Malla Zenawi, used to say quite often, our enemy is poverty. We choose and pick our battle by seeing in advance the result or the outcome and don't want to engage on those battles that are not worth to fight for. They only distract us from our common enemy, poverty. So we rather choose to engage and create, to advance, to stay productive in order to maintain and change our life. To change it from survival in a better way. That's a worse challenge to be invested at than to waste our energy and time on what we can ignore. By the way, silence is the most powerful weapon to those who apply it. All those noisy and toxic medias, the predators, Abiy Ahmed and Trump, the best remedy is for them, you ignore them. Don't give them attention. You can combat and diffuse their motives effectively that way than reacting and giving away your power to others. So you are empowering them and that's on you. It's on your fault. It's your responsibility to take your power back that you will let than you let it surrender. Care about you better care about your relevance than accommodating their relevance by giving them attention and dwell in their agenda. Unless you enjoy the manipulation, deception episode of con artists, of which both are amateur. Both Abiy and Trump, they are amateur manipulators. The mentor MBZ, the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, is expert manipulator and deceiver who is using them to operate that way. He's the one you should pay attention to, for he is the factory of the chaos both in Ethiopia and the USA. The Tigrian people built. They don't care what they have built. So many prices that has been paid to throw the communists and came up with the constitution. A price has been paid. And nobody knows the value than those who paid for it. For democracy to become into existence. Even though that democracy needs a lot of work of improvement. A constitution is, after all, it's a piece of paper, I could say. But I don't outrightly say that and teach others the wrong way. Because the constitution is not just a piece of paper. The Ethiopian constitution is, it's an idea, an ideal. It's an idea, an ideal. It's an expression, a grand vision in the structure of implementing that vision. A society, nation can have a dialogue and can reach into agreement if there needs to be an improvement on the constitution to enhance for the betterment of the nation. Not an outsider, not an invader, not a colonizer, but the nation itself. The first thing first should come the dialogue, the agreement of all the political stakeholders, not a forceful decision of an autocrat or a dictator leader who doesn't include other people. Ethiopia is becoming a one-man show because he is there for different motive, to colonize a country, for the two Middle East country, Saudi Arabia and Abu Dhabi. Again, Ethiopians are again, the Tigrian people raised their voices to protect the constitution for the betterment of the country's future and to preserve what has been paid to earn democracy. Yet the majority Ethiopians don't understand the colonialism, oppression, and being maneuvered by Mohammed bin Zayed and Abiy-sponsored medias by singly emphasizing taking out an article and taking that from the context of the constitution, the context, to emphasize on that of which people dwell and linger to see not only TPLF is a bad guy, but also see the constitution as a whole, not the right one. Well, life gives back whatever we give it. People of Ethiopia didn't appreciate what they have, at least in its partiality, if not the entirety of the constitution. Thus, since May 20, 2018, Ethiopia is not following a local politics or the constitution. What we don't appreciate, what we don't protect, it can be lost, it can be gone. As of May 20, 2018, it's following the colonization roadmap policy that's made in Saudi Arabia and Abu Dhabi, of which Abiy Ahmed imported on his first Middle East trip. in May 20, 2018. Ethiopians are under slavery rule or colonialism, but they hate to their despise for the Tigrian people, address their concern and complain for addressing and complaining for the constitution not to be affected. The constitution is being endangered. That was why they fought for to bring a better future from what it was before. This is the good fight the Tigrian people choose to engage as part of the nation, because there is a threat to it. So we pick and choose our battles, even when we raise our voices. The Tigrians are rebellious, not just for the sake of rebellious, though. They rebel because of their passionate and love for their country. They are courageous. They are patriots who doesn't accept oppression. That's why they rebel against a communist power structure that was oppressive and dictator that killed many lives in Red Terror. That was unacceptable by the Tigrians, and that's the reason they fought for 17 years. Do you think the Tigrian people would sit down and just watch and accept to go back to ground zero? When we were at square one, after what we have went through? People don't understand this. We don't want another oppression, imprisonment, lack of freedom, or days in a war. But those things are there for us by choice to avoid them. But when it comes to being pushed, those things is not going to stop or prevent us. Because when it comes to our rights, we don't entertain fear. We are just choose to operate applying wisdom. The current active war is a result of wisdom, not a lack of it. When other factors pushed that imprisonment, war, days, being starved is unavoidable, we still choose that path in fighting the challenge that's hovering to affect our rights and freedom. In simple terms, our future. When the direction is changing to enslave our future, the whole Tigrian can rebel. When the communists changed the direction for all Ethiopians towards oppression, that was oppression. And the Tigrians, a few, whom we call TPLF, rebels against that dictator oppression until they change. Until the change comes by throwing the communists. These people has a high level of patriotism. We love our country, we love the people. Our country, our environment gives us the ability to somehow individually rebellious to a certain cause. There are things we accept and compromise, and there are things we don't accept at all costs. Oppression and slavery is a no-no zone within the people of Tigray. It's unacceptable. That's why a mother is losing her children in fighting the cause against community. 6 children they sent to the war. It's not a joke. That's why war, mass imprisonment, and starving our people is our true story. Because we resist oppression. Here again, as history repeats itself, because even if such greater causes will not stop us. To neither surrender or retreat. If this is a price to pay to fight in earning our rights and freedom, be it. We are unbreakable. Or until we die or break, we fight. This is not in an arrogant or puffed up or pride way. This is a reality. Our rights and freedom is important. That's all we are asking. That's what we are fighting for. No slavery. The motive through the psychological war that we're in for the past 3 years is to break our spirit, to break our confidence, to make us surrender, to make us weak. But it is the other way around. God is with the humble, and he detests the proud, he says in his word. God is giving us another opportunity for our own growth. So we evolve. Every time there's a lesson to learn. The challenges are for our own goodness, even though it's a sad experience. A life lost is not something that we like or we prefer or we choose. But if it has to be at the expense of others, we go for it. We don't stop. That doesn't going to stop us, because the far better the other one, if we surrender to the slavery, that's far worse than the one we are dealing right now. So we are choosing and picking our battles by comparing what's the best, what's better for us. So the challenge are for our goodness, like a silver that went through the heat of a fire, a furnace. We too are going through the process for the beauty that will come and shine afterwards. That's pleasing to the eyes, that catches and attracts like a magnet in a positive way. So don't go there. Don't drag us down there. Stop it. Stop oppressing us. Stop to enslave us. It won't work. In this